Racing games allow us to try out a multitude of racing cultures from around the world. From taking V8 supercars around the incredibly scary Mount Panorama circuit, through to going wheel to wheel with the best of the best through Eau Rouge at Spa. However, these are some of the circuits that everyone knows are on most racing games. Let's have a look at some of the circuits that don't very often make it into racing games at all. I'm Forza Potenza, and here's our list of the top 5 tracks that we need to see more in racing games. Kicking things off with number 5, we have Interlagos. You'd think that for a circuit that has links to the likes of Ayrton Senna, surely it would be featured in more racing games of recent. The track has held Brazilian stock car races for a long time, is a staple of the Formula 1 calendar, and was visited until very recently by the World Endurance Championship. The long start-finish straight following into the Senna S should be enough reason on its own. I mean, that complex of corners that follows the Senna S is absolutely incredible. And then, if you're a Formula 1 fan, nothing will get close to that young cow corner with the scream of Martin Brundle shouting, "Is that Glock?" Nothing will ever come close to that. And you'd think for a circuit that's had so many spectacular moments and decided so many Formula 1 championships, you'd think it would feature on more racing games, especially considering the likes of Yas Marina feature on pretty much every game being produced at the moment. Then in 4th place we have a track from the Nurburgring. No, not that one. It's the Nurburgring, which holds an annual DTM race every year. The 1.4 mile track features only 6 corners, but is seen as a staple of the DTM calendar since the fans are so close to the action. And there have been some classic DTM races and support races, over the last few years. The Nurburgring used to feature on a lot of racing games when DTM used to be a bit more licensed. However, in recent years, in the last 5 or 10 years, it's barely featured at all. In 3rd place, we have Road Atlanta. You'd think for a circuit that's been compared to Le Mans before, so much so that it holds a race called the Petit Le Mans, you'd think that it would be in more racing games, but really, beyond iRacing and Forza Motorsport, there's been very little for Road Atlanta. The S's section is very much like a shortened version of the S's at Le Mans. Plus, that final corner alone is worthy of a place in any racing game. And when I've played Forza Motorsport, it makes Road Atlanta one of the more fun circuits to visit. Trying to take a car flat out through there, unless you've got amazing downforce, is downright petrifying. And for that reason alone, I think that Road Atlanta deserves a place on more racing games. In 2nd, we have a favourite of mine on this channel, the Algarve circuit. The track has hosted races in the likes of A1GP and the World Series by Renault, but in recent years has struggled to get big events to come to it, despite Max Mosey saying it would be suitable for a race in Formula 1. Major drivers have given much support for the circuit, including Earl Bamber saying that there are special turns with personality, namely due to the mixture of blind corners, undulations and high speed sections that you get around the circuit. Drivers such as Felipe Albuquerque, who are reputable for their DTM drives, have even said that the track would be very good for overtaking. It's starting to feature on more games now, the Algarve, but because it's not getting into major racing series, it's very rare to see it still, with it really only being Grid Autosport and Project Cars that have featured the circuit. But I can tell you, even from my experience only playing those games at the circuit and watching the odd race there, I can definitely say I wish I could drive it on more games. Forza comes to mind. And the circuit that I believe we need to see more of in racing games is Macau. Macau is a special circuit by all regards, as the annual festival they have there for the Macau Street Circuit shows. It's a classic circuit of Formula 3 and can produce some absolutely stunning races. It says something that some drivers will compete in some F3 rounds just to qualify for Macau, and drivers like Alexander Sims have done that in the past. And it says a lot about the character of the circuit that everyone wants to be involved in the Macau Formula 3 festival. Plus, you can have a look at the 2017 races They produced absolutely utter carnage, and the race was won at the final corner, but by the car that was starting the lap in 3rd place. I really do recommend, if nothing else, if this is the only thing you take from this video, check out the final lap of the Macau Formula 3 race last year. So, that sums it up for the top 5 circuits we need to see more in racing games. This has been Forza Potenza, and if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please be sure to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!